Zombification machines are my absolute favorite thing to design and build in Minecraft. In the last episode of Parrotcraft, we built this absolutely flawless one, and I believe we ended the last episode right about to test this thing, so let's jump right into it. Press the button, takes a villager. Come on, no, you're not allowed to break this. What? I just forgot a rail. Okay, that's my fault. Just gonna push him in. It worked perfectly. Look at that. Although I do actually have to check if it's actually working perfectly, which I would imagine it is, hopefully. Yep, we have a zombie villager and a golden apple on the floor, and the actual zombie is already hidden back away. So we give that to him. He's healing now, and we kind of have to wait quite a bit. It takes a while. But once that happens, it will continue to work absolutely flawlessly. We have our villager. The zombie has not been revealed, so he won't get zombified again. And I don't actually have a workstation for this guy, so I gotta go grab that. He's obviously going to be a mending librarian because both of my diamond pickaxes are just about to break, which is why I haven't been using them, so I very dearly need this. I've got my lectern and is going to first try mending, right? Right? Or maybe one of these guys is claiming the workstation. I know the problem I had in the past with villagers claiming workstations back in Parrotcraft is I would have other workstation blocks like placed around, but I don't have any of those this time. Like there's no blocks this guy could be wanting to have as his workstation other than the lectern, which is why my kind of best. So see, he's looking now. Will you do it? You're looking at it. He wants it now. It looks like. No, okay. What if maybe he's just like he's shy. He doesn't want to accept the job in front of. Wait, what? Okay. There's no way that was legitimately the reason. That was just good timing, right? Okay, punch two. You suck. 1 minute. Maybe it's because one of these guys is trying to claim the job instead of this one, and he's like, no, I call dibs. But this guy's like, oh, okay, he called dibs, I can't do it now. I think that must be what's happening. I guess I can cover those guys up with, like, glass or something, and maybe this won't happen? Because this is working, like, fine now. Sweeping edge, that's not what I want still. I will definitely come up with a more permanent solution to this issue later. I'm hoping glass will work, because I really want to still be able to see these guys. And if glass doesn't work, I don't really think there's anything else I could do and have them still be visible. So, yeah, that does appear to be the problem, though. It's just like... Yeah. He just doesn't... Yeah, okay. That is the problem. I'm glad I found it. I have a few kinks to work out in this system still. Mostly, another one is that this guy exists, and he's a desert one, which needs to be fixed. But for now, I want to get mending, because I really would like to just use diamond tools and stuff. So I'm going for mending first, then I'll fix all of the problems more permanently than putting some cobblestone in one side of the room. Oh, that didn't even take that long. I haven't even done that many rounds of this. I was expecting to be here for like ages, but we got mending, and now we get to do the fun part of the system where we lock in this trade. So if we buy a mending book, now we won't lose it if we break his lectern. And I have two options. I have the done and again buttons, which I had on my last system. The done button doesn't really do anything because I don't have a trading hall, and also this guy is not down to 1 emerald on all of his trades. So we're gonna zombify him again, and hopefully I built the system right. This is part of it that like could in theory go wrong. Oh yeah, this is another issue that this is an issue I wasn't able to fix, which is the zombie currently wants to kill me, which is a little bit of a problem considering I don't want the zombie to kill me. I want the zombie to kill the villager. But once he's locked on, it's not fine. Okay, I'm just gonna go stand outside for a second. You good? No? Okay, I have to go stand outside more. There we go. Okay, he got converted, and there's a golden apple on the floor, as there should be. Heal him, and then that bookshelf trade should be down to 1 emerald, and the reason I'm doing this is because if they have a bookshelf trade, you get 1 emerald for 3 bookshelves, was it? Maybe it's 1 emerald for 1 bookshelf. Either way, you get 1 emerald for some bookshelves. You break that bookshelf into books, and it's at least 1 emerald to 3 books, and then you sell those 3 books for 1 emerald each, and it's great. So that's what I'm doing. It'll be an infinite source of emeralds, and also it'll be a decent source of XP to heal up my tools once I get more mending books. And there we go. We have our bookshelf trade down to 1 emerald, and if I go ahead and buy a bunch of these, I hope I have enough emeralds, but I'm not entirely sure that I do, because this guy won't actually give me emeralds, which is a little bit of a problem, maybe? But if I buy these, hopefully it will just level him up, and then I can sell him the books back, which is a completely fair and reasonable business trade. That's unfortunate, because now I have to actually go get more emeralds, which isn't actually too hard. I'm just going to find a villager and give that villager a workstation, probably like a Fletcher or something, because that's an easy way to get emeralds. Or maybe I'll do the farmer that's back there somewhere if I can actually access them, which shouldn't be too difficult either. So I'm going to go get more emeralds, and then we can actually level this guy up and have a good source of emeralds from him. Which hopefully shouldn't be too hard, because I do have this villager up here who of course trades wheat and beetroot for emeralds, but I don't actually have a super large amount of either of those. And also, this guy kind of has to go anyway, because of the fact that he occasionally results in there being a desert villager being born. So I gotta replace this guy with a plains villager. If he'd stop moving for a second, he can inexplicably burn to death. And also I don't have a pickaxe to clean up that mess, but I do have a little access tunnel here that I made, and hopefully if we get a villager from the main area and put them up there, it should just like pathfind to the job block once it actually like is job time. And I actually need a pickaxe first though, because I do kind of have to limit the villager's options so it can only pathfind to the job block, and then once it's in there we can just close up the access tunnel and we're all good, and then we have a new villager, so no more desert babies. And also hopefully he will trade like potatoes for emeralds and I can actually get some emeralds. That worked flawlessly. He's up here and we got a potato trade. Nice. It is actually quite a few potatoes, but I don't need too many emeralds. I'm guessing like maybe 6 more or something like that. So I am going to farm his potatoes for him so that I can get potatoes for this. And that's 6 emeralds. I'm not sure 6 is actually the number I need, but that's the number I'm going to go with. And I suppose I can go actually test that real quick. I'm going to leave this guy in here, and we should no longer get desert villagers, hopefully. As in, there's literally no desert villagers left except for the one that's in the chamber of villagers, which will be dealt with at some point whenever he happens to come up in when I get a villager, but that will not probably be for a while, if ever. So yeah, we should be all good in terms of no more desert villagers, and this guy should be leveled up now. Sick. And when he levels up, he's going to have a trade, I believe, of 1 book for 1 emerald, which is quite nice. We just break some of these, and now we have more emeralds, and that is a completely infinite process, which is really stupid, but, you know, no one ever said villagers were fair and balanced. And we also got Impaling 5 and Fortune 1. Not that either of those are, like, insanely useful, but we have them now, which is pretty cool. And this guy, I would say, is a pretty successful villager, and now I can get as many mending books as I want, which is actually just 2 for now, because I only have 2 diamond tools. But now I can enchant both my pickaxes with mending and heal them up by trading with this guy very, very slowly. And after only about an hour, my pickaxes are both fully repaired, and the only reason it took me that long is, first of all, this guy likes to occasionally up his prices, which makes it so I'm not actually profiting. And also, I went on quite the resource gathering spree, so I used both my pickaxes' durability pretty much fully, so that's the only reason it took so long. But now I have both these all healed up, which means I can get to work doing some more digging, because this building is currently pretty much just a facade. I've done a little bit of digging, so there's kind of a little room back here, but obviously it doesn't look super great, so I gotta go ahead and dig all this out. I think I want pretty much most of it back this way. That'll be the main trading hall, and then there'll be a little area here for like emerald storage and stuff like that, I guess. So I did quite the amount of digging. I also did a little bit of planning out with some pillars here and there, and obviously it still looks quite bad because I haven't done any of the aesthetics yet, but I have done most of the digging. I think the floor ceiling's gonna be this site, and I think all this is all good, hopefully. But I've dug this little area for the villagers, and it's gonna kind of look really long and ugly. But the thing is, there's not really much you can do about that. If you actually want a lot of villagers, I'm gonna have 50 down in this hallway, which is hopefully more than enough for the amount of villagers I'll want. But now I think that I have it all dug out. I can actually get to doing some of the aesthetics, so I have to fully do this area up to look all nice and entryway-y. And I'm also going to try and do some aesthetic stuff with the super long tunnel. I want to make it a little bit overgrown, maybe, like it's been kind of neglected. I mostly just got this inspiration from this moss block, because I think there's like a lush cave down here. Yeah. So I want to make it a little bit overgrown, but not like too much, just as something to kind of break up the super repetitive nature of a really long hallway. Okay, so I haven't really done the whole like ruined thing yet, nor have I actually finished the aesthetic parts of this, but I did do quite a bit of it. I did, obviously, this little section is pretty much all done. We have like a little railway for the villagers that are coming in. They'll get brought up here just because I like having that visible. I think it looks cool. And then this is, of course, the actual like trading hall itself, which is very, very unfinished because this entire side is just not done. The ceiling's not in, and it's missing carpets and functional stuff. So yeah, this part definitely not done yet, but there's a reason for that, which is the ceiling and the floor are both made out of stripped oak logs, which I have about 19 of, and there's quite a bit of ceiling left, so I don't really have the ability to finish it currently, and I've already gone and harvested wood for this project like 3 different times, because the way that I do it currently is I grab my bow and I go off over yonder to a forest, pretty much, where I've been planting a bunch of saplings and then destroying them and planting them again to get oak wood, because the jungle isn't really the best place to gather oak. But that gets really, really tedious. And I was thinking, hey, back in Parrotcraft, I didn't really have this problem. Why was that? And that is because I had a wither skeleton farm, aka an infinite source of bone meal. So I was thinking, why don't I just do that in this series? And that resulted in me thinking, no, I don't want to build a wither skeleton farm right now. That was saying, hey, why not build a normal skeleton farm? Because while I was laying up caves for the slime farm, I found something that is quite cool, which is right over here, which is this thing, which is a skeleton spawner. So I could just build like a spawner-based skeleton farm, which takes like all of half an hour maybe. So I'm going to do that, because then gathering oak wood will become infinitely easier, and I can actually complete builds like that, and probably most of the builds in Turtle Keep are going to use, or Parrot Keep, sorry, are going to use a bunch of oak wood, so it should be super useful. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this into a skeleton farm. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a chest in here that I actually haven't looked at yet. I want to do that before I do the farm. Cat, and 13, and infinity, which is completely useless because I'm kind of working on, you know, villagers right now. I just want to do this on camera. Anyway, back to making a farm. Well, it isn't pretty, but I made a skeleton farm, and all I have to do is remove the torches, and we should start getting some skeleton spawns in here. Yep, there they are. I just have closed this up, and I've already made a little bit of a killing chamber down here. It's nothing fancy, and it does still require a sword, but, you know, it works, and it will get me bones pretty slowly, I think. And actually, I think it's a lot better if I remove that. But eventually, we should get some skeletons. In theory. Yep, this is a problem that happens with this design. They kind of get stuck, clumped together, but it tends to resolve itself pretty well. And yeah, all I have to do is sit here killing them for a bit, although I will probably add like a campfire or something and just make it automatic. Because I don't really need the XP too much, I mostly need the bones. So yeah, I'm going to get a lot of bones, probably. I'm going to set up like a hopper and stuff here, get a campfire going, just like I said, and maybe while I kind of AFK, I will make this place a little bit prettier, not like fully decorate it yet, because the idea is, I've noticed that the cave kind of opens out to the bay right here, And just around this corner is my like villager stuff. So I was thinking maybe we have like whatever docks I build here kind of connect to this, and this be like a way up the cliffs, because currently I have like a really ugly cobblestone staircase. But I think that if I build some infrastructure down here like docks, I could make this kind of a nicer way up the cliffs than the cobblestone staircase that I have just over here. But that will come later. For now, I'm just gonna go ahead, finish the farm, make it automatic, and gather some oak wood. Is this enough oak wood? I think this is enough oak wood. Although that is what I said last time I gathered oak wood, and I, eventually ran out then. But this should at least last me. This build, hopefully, it cannot possibly be 5 stacks of oak wood. But yeah, I think I've gathered enough at least for now to last me a couple builds, hopefully. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of the aesthetics of this build because I still have quite a bit to do, and I do want to do some amount of that ruining that I talked about earlier, just because I feel like this hallway will be quite bland if I don't do that. So I want to incorporate some moss into this build, and also just some like greenery in general. I also think that I'm gonna try and like replace some of these with moss blocks just to make it look really old. I don't really know why. I just kind of feel like it. Maybe it's like one of the older buildings in the city. But yeah, let's go ahead and finish up this little hallway. So I've been working on this for a while now, and I obviously finished the hallway. And you might notice I haven't done the whole like ruined mossy thing because I was thinking about it. It doesn't really make sense for this build, right? It's like very much right on the shorefront, pretty much as close as the water as you can get, in a pretty prosperous trade town. And a building like that wouldn't be neglected. It would have a lot of property value, so I've decided to not go with the ruined theme just because it doesn't really fit the build in my opinion. But as you can see, I've also finished the rest of the interior, so I have some storage for the random stuff. Currently it's all just building supplies, as well as like an anvil for enchanting tools and the grindstone for disenchanting tools. But I think it turned out really good, and I've kind of played with light a little bit in this build because the new lighting system allows me to have areas like this that have a light level of 4 not be spawnable, so I'm just kind of using that to my advantage to make the end of this hallway kind of dark and foreboding, I guess. Anyway, I like how this building turned out. I've been working on it for a while, so I'm just kind of rambling on about it at this point. But it's not actually quite done because I don't have any rails up here, which is kind of necessary for a villager trading hall that has villagers coming in on rails. So next step is to put in all of the functional parts of this build. So I need a rail line that goes to here and dumps them out in this side of it, and then if this side's full, I need them to go over here, which hopefully will not be too complicated. I did a really complicated system last time I did this, which I didn't really like. I mean, it worked, kind of. So I'm going to try and do something a little more simple, because there must be a better solution. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, put in the rails, connect up these two buildings, and then the entire system is fully complete, and we can get to getting some really cool villagers in here. I think it's done. I've kind of been asking myself that for the past like half an hour, just running around checking things to see if I can find any problems with it, but I think this system is done. This kind of happens every time that I've been working on something for a really long time. I'm just questioning myself as to whether or not it's done for like ages, but there's now rails actually going along like everywhere in this little path. I've also added some more stuff down the bottom so that it actually picks people up from where they get dropped out right here. And then I also added a nice little system where it actually puts the minecarts back, which is quite cool. But pretty much they just get dispensed out of that dispenser, go through the zombification machine, get dropped out here, and then once they get dropped out here, they go along this little rail line, which gets a little slow in some parts just because I am a little short on powered rails, but eventually they do make it to this building. Currently, it is set to this side of the thing, I guess. It dumps them out right here, and then that minecart gets sent all the way back through the entire system. Should be there. There it is. Like I said, it goes quite slow, but that eventually makes its way back into the initial dispenser, except I don't want... Never mind, it got through. And the only way in is to actually get in a minecart because of the way I made it. But anyway, it should work, hopefully. I haven't actually tested it with villagers yet, obviously, but in theory it works. So I guess we can go ahead and send in the first villager. The only problem is it's currently set to the wrong side because I decided to kind of not go with the whole automatic thing with that. Instead, there's just a switch in this building that you flip, and then that switches between which side it's going to go to. So currently, it's on, so it's going to this side, but I want them to go to this side, for now at least. Once I fill this side up, then we'll go over here. Yeah, I just need to send in my mending guy first, I guess, because he's just kind of sitting in that building. Although, I want them to be in alphabetical order, so I have to figure out exactly where he's going to go. So I guess I'm going to go make a list of all the enchantments, or look up a list of all the enchantments in alphabetical order, and then I can decide where to put this lectern. So as it turns out, mending is number 23, almost in the second row of things, and that's actually quite good because it means we can test if the villager will actually pathfind all the way down here to that lectern, which it should, hopefully. It is like 4 more blocks than it was the last time I did a system like this, but now I just have to get my little mending guy that's over here actually into the system, which should be as simple as that. Now we just go double check the lever because I'm paranoid. We're good. Okay, let's send him in. Okay, just push him in, and he should go the correct way, and he's off. Okay, he's going up. That all worked. He goes through here. He got dumped out in the correct spot. Now he just needs to pathfind all the way over to that lectern. He's going. Okay, I think this might actually work. I never have faith in my contraptions, but I think... you're so close. You're so close. Okay, I know how to fix this, but that's very annoying. Get the... I think I'm gonna have to come up here and push him. Okay, you can't get in this slot. It's not allowed. You have to go in this one. This is a problem. So the way I fix this is these are all currently rotated like this because I thought it looked nice. If I rotate them sideways, it gets rid of this problem. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I think for now, I just like break this one and then try and place it back. It could work. It gets placed like that. Yeah. I can manage that. Okay, we let him in, and then we place that back there, and then we close it. You in there? Okay, I think we're good. So he's stuck in place. We close that trapdoor, and now fence gate, and now he's stuck there. So I gotta rotate all of these 90 degrees so that that doesn't happen again. But that is one villager down. We have about... I think there's like around 30 enchantments, so I have, just a couple more to go, which leads to kind of a problem that I have, which is each villager requires at least one, but probably several zombifications, and I'm kind of running low on potions. I think I have 2 weakness potions left and like 10 golden apples. Yeah, 10 golden apples, which is not exactly enough for 30 plus villagers. So yeah, I gotta go get a lot more weakness potions, a lot more golden apples, and then spend like several hours zombifying villagers, because last time I did this it took me like a week. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some potions and stuff, rotate those fence gates, and then we can get to it. Well, 15 should hopefully be enough splash potions for at least a couple villagers. I also got another 11 golden apples, but we weren't running quite as low on those. So I can do a couple enchantments. Like I said, hopefully some of them might take several zombifications. But now we get to finally fully test this thing. Press the thing. That is an issue. I fixed it, maybe. Let me just put this one back. Wait a little bit, make sure that's actually back in the system. Okay, let's try that again, because that's supposed to work. Much better. We get a little bit of it getting... Yeah, we get a little bit of it getting hurt, but it's fine. Zombies should pop up. And then nothing happens, which I know why. Oh wait, no. Yeah, if I just leave, the zombie should do it because the zombie prioritizes targeting the player than the villagers, is what I've learned from my experience with zombification machines. And yeah, now nice and zombified, healing, and then now we wait like 5 minutes, which is really the brunt of doing this whole process. But while I wait for that guy to heal, I'm gonna go get a lectern. Our first villager is healed. Okay, I'm pretty sure these guys are still an issue, and it's gonna make this guy not have a job, right? Yeah. I'll come up with a more permanent solution for this issue later, but for now, that should fix it. I need to try if glass, like, blocks them from trying to get it. But anyway, we have our first thing, and it is Blast Protection 1, which is not anything close to what I want. The last time I did this, I kind of got them in order, starting with, like, Aqua Affinity 5 or whatever it is, I think. Yeah, it's Aqua Affinity 1. I'm an idiot. Anyway, Aqua Affinity 1 was the first one I did, and I just did this until I got that, and then I moved on to Bane of Arthropods 5. But the thing is, that takes a really, really long time. So what I've decided to do this time is, as soon as I get a max level enchant, I just put that guy in the system in the correct place, which should take a lot less time, because there's a lot of ones that are kind of rare, and there's a lot of ones that are really easy, like channeling, for instance, I believe is super common. What did I say? Channeling is very common. And as this guy already is at 1 emerald for this, I don't really have to zombify him. You'll notice this is still at 3, and villagers always have their 1 book for 1 emerald trade. So I want to zombify him one more time, partially just test my system, and also to get that down to 1 so that he can be another source of infinite emeralds. But I gotta go grab books before this guy randomly changes his trade, which I've heard happens sometimes. Never happened to me, but supposedly it's possible. I think, yeah, I got books in here. So he's locking the trade, and then we zombify him again. There is our channeling book, and then press the again button, and remove the lectern, and you leave, because the zombie really just wants to kill me. There we go, okay. And give us a golden apple, and now we wait another 5 or so minutes for him to heal. And just like that, we got it down to just 1 emerald for a bookshelf, which is an incredibly good trade. And now, I can send him off to the other side of the thing, to the trading hall, although I want to sleep first because I am really paranoid that like a zombie is gonna like drop in on him and kill him or something. Not that I think that really could happen, but not gonna risk it. Anyway, so we just click the done button, and this is like my favorite part of the machine, because I was making this, it's like, you know, you really have no space for them to go. You'll notice it goes forward actually when it does this, but it does that, and it does not look like it should work, but it kinda just does. And now he's going off to this side. I forgot to open any of the trapdoors, but that seems to have worked just fine. 1 minute, I have to check which one channeling is, because I don't know which one of these to open. It's definitely on this side, luckily, because it is a C. Number 4 it is, so that one, and he should, yeah, it just works perfectly. Yeah, there we go. We have channeling in. I'll get these all labeled and stuff later, but I don't really have like item frames or stuff, which is how I want to do it currently. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, spend the rest of my golden apples and stuff, getting villagers in, and I'll be back in just a couple seconds for you guys, but a couple hours for me. Actually, it hasn't been that long for me either, because I realized this video is getting kind of long. It's like half an hour now, which is a little bit more than I want my videos to actually be. So we're going to go ahead and end this one here, because we are pretty much out of time. Decided that we will do all of the brute force work of getting every single enchantment in between episodes so it can be done for the next one, because I have been doing villagers for a couple weeks now, and it is starting to get a little bit tiring. I'm just going to ignore the fact that I fell in the water. But anyway, for now, like if you liked, subscribe if you like it. Have a great day, and as always, bye-bye.